Hello, everybody. Aduba here, and welcome to this Zoom block party. I am joined this afternoon by Cliff Albright and LaTosha Brown, who are phenomenal activists touring across the country on the Black Voters Matters bus. And we are grateful to have them in conversation to discuss all of the things that they are championing and making sure happen by election day across the country. So without further ado, LaTosha and Cliff. Hi, you guys. Um, First, I'd love to
Oh,
ask
how
you,
are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Where are you now and where are you headed?
We are in Memphis, Tennessee. So
Yeah.
we're in the great city of Memphis. We have been here all day. Matter of fact, we came on yesterday, and today we started out our day with a party at the polls. So we have a DJ, so if you hear some music out, we've got a DJ, we've got two food trucks. We've had a steady flow of voters all day long. We've been giving out T-shirts, talking to people, connecting with around 6 of our partnering organizations that help to mobilize. We wanted to create a festive environment to encourage and inspire people to come down and vote early. So we're here in Memphis and we're now headed to Nashville, Tennessee.
On the side of the bus, Cliff, speaking of power, the bus says on the side, "We got power." Can you tell people why is that message important to you?
That we got power, that we got the power to come up out of all of this. We've got the power to change the situation. We've got power to win elections up and down the ballot. We've got power to deal with this health crisis. We've got the power to work together because what we know is that when we work together, we win. We've got the power to come up with creative solutions to even how we touch one another and organize with one another in the midst of coronavirus. That's really where the idea that we had of doing, we've had our buses now for several years, but we've now turned the blackest bus in America into the blackest fleet in America. And so along with our main bus that Latasha and I are on right now, we've got two other buses. And on top of that, we've got 32 baby buses, vans that are
Wow.
rotating across 12 states. Right now, as we speak, there's guaranteed to be an event going on somewhere in some state, in some community, that one of these baby buses is driving around to, leading caravans, bringing people to the polls in a COVID safe way.
With that incredibly beautiful black fleet that you have, what is the goal? What do you hope to achieve at the end of the day? At the end of all of these bus tours, what is like the biggest dream and the hope for it?
I think the biggest dream is, if I were to tell people, if anytime you see a Black Voters Matter bus, you're always going to see two words on it. It doesn't matter what campaign we're running, you're always going to see the word power and love. It doesn't matter. You'll always see love and power. If you don't see love and power, it's not a legitimate Black Voters Matter bus, right? That's because this organization and everything that we root our work in, Cliff and I have been very intentional about that. Those are the bookmarks, love and power. And so, I want people, if nothing else, to feel, I have this question around, for the love of humanity. What if everything we were doing was for the love of humanity? The work that we're doing out here on the ground, even voting, is not for voting's sake. Voting isn't the end all. Voting isn't a panacea where it's going to solve all our problems. We're honest with our communities about that, right? But whenever we show up in a space of power that is rooted in love, things have to change. And so when we love humanity, we fight for humanity to get better outcomes. When you love human beings, you fight for human beings to get health care. When you love human beings, you fight for human beings to literally be able to get better quality housing. If you love children, you fight for children to get education. The point being is that part of our work is rooted in love, but actually putting that love in action and using our power and that love and action to really be able to shape the kind of environment, the kind of world we want. And so if this tour, people don't do anything else but really tap into their own power and recognize how we've got to use our power for the service of love. If they don't remember anything else, That's what is important to us. It's not going to be the candidates that change this country. It's not going to be the political parties that are going to change this country. It's going to be us. Those of us that, for the love of humanity, are willing to operate in our sense of courage, to really to operate to make sure that we're radically reimagining every system in this country, that we will fight for the least of these, that we will fight for the most vulnerable, that we will literally stand in a space that we will say everybody deserves health care. What's so wrong with everybody getting health care? People will fail. What is so bad about every child getting quality education? What is so terrible about who work every day of their lives getting a paycheck that they can pay their bills? That's the kind of world and the kind of nation we want to see and feel like people deserve. And so for us, that we can come up against any hate, whether it's racism, homophobia, sexism, all those forms of oppression that literally come out of a space of hate, that if we lean into love for the love of humanity, we can shift that. And we think that if we can lean into that and center ourselves in that way and use our people power when it's protesting, use our people power when it's shaping a policy, use our people power when we're talking about voting. If we can do those things, then we can fundamentally change the nature, the face of this nation. And that's what we want to do.
Woo! I don't see how you're not changing communities after listening to both of you. There's no way. Thank you so much, LaTosha Brown, Cliff Albright. Thank you guys for sitting down and sharing space, taking the time out of the incredible work that you're doing across the country. I thank you. Community thanks you. We're forever grateful for not just talking about it, but being about it.